Hey there everyone, this is Piper here again. This is a 1v1 Napoleon Total War battle. This is actually a ranked battle I did online, and playing against a player called Clan. And I've taken Austria today, and he's taken Sweden, and this is on the grassy flatlands. As you can tell, it's pretty bad weather. It's like heavy rain, so not the nicest of days. So I'll go through the army that I brought. Gone with 4 Hungarian Fusiliers, 3 German Fusiliers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 light. Or is it 5 light? Can't see because of that trees. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light. You got 2 Uhlans there. So 4 Uhlans, 1 Austrian 1st Regiment Emperor's Own, that's an elite unit, and Archduke Charles Legion. We've gone with Archduke Charles himself as the general. So a fairly powerful army, and we're playing against Sweden, who's brought 3 mountain Jaegers on the right flank, and he's also got 4 on the left flank, so 7 mountain Jaegers in total. 3 units of lifeguard foot. Six line infantry. He's gone with general staff as a general, and it looks like he's brought 3 units of light as well. So it's one of the drawbacks of Sweden. The light infantry isn't that good. So he's gone with more mounted cavalry, which is fairly cheap for Sweden. Less light and less line. Because the lines and elite units of Sweden they're not amazing. They're all right. They're average. But it's really the mounted Jaegers that are Sweden's special area. And Austria, it's quite a balanced faction. Austria, the Hungarian Fusiliers are fairly powerful, and the melee stats on the line are fairly good as well. The vanilla faction, it's fairly balanced. If you get the DLC units, you get fairly powerful elites. So we march forward, and our lights are now within range of the sharpshooters there, the Jaegers. So they've done a lot of damage there. Obviously, they have a range advantage over my lights, or the Grenzer as they're called. So doing some good kills there. Sweden's withdrawn, and see here he's brought around his mounted Jaegers on the left flank. So I've got 2 units of Uhlans on the right flank, 2 on the left flank. He's brought over his cavalry here, and I didn't actually know it at the time. And what I did was I brought over my cavalry as well and my elites to make this side powerful. Didn't actually realise that he brought over his other mounted Jaegers at the same time. So that was beneficial for me. And what I did there is I just charged straight into the mounted Jaegers with my Uhlans. I did a lot of damage there. And the mounted Jaegers are really good for firing, withdrawing. They don't hold up too well in combat, and the Uhlans got a good charge there, and we've also brought over our elites there. So we can see there fairly good damage done on the mounted cavalry, and we've also got our lights here as well. So what he might have been better doing was to brought his 3 mounted Jaegers around the side there and enveloped me. Instead he's brought round all of his cavalry to this side, and just before he charged there I actually put the first regiment into square formation, and these guys have high morale combined with the cavalry of the lancers. They're going to hold it pretty well, but there's a lot of cavalry here. So we've charging our 2 Uhlans there. We've got our second 2 units coming around here, and hopefully they're going to rout this 1 unit of Jaegers there. But I think he might actually pull out in time. So throughout all this we've got our lights firing at the line of the Sweden, the lifeguards of foot. So we've put our lights in the front, our German Fusiliers at the back there, so they'll do some good damage. We've charged it again with the Uhlans and done more damage to the mounted rifles rather. So this side it's not holding up too well actually. There's a lot of cavalry. We've only got 2 units of Uhlans left and the 1st regiment. Still got the German Fusilier lines here and the Hungarian Fusiliers and all the lights. I'm trying to find the Archduke regiment. I think they might have routed. So we've charged in the German Fusiliers here. And if the enemy opponent actually came around the back there, he might have been able to rout some more units. Instead he brought forward that unit of mountain Jaegers to attack the line here. Yeah, so I think the Archduke regiment routed, because I can't see them anywhere. Because that's the 1st there. Did some good damage there. It's German Fusiliers. Got the lifeguard of foot there. So we're not doing too well here at the moment. We're taking a lot of damage from the lifeguards and the line there, but we've taken out the bulk of Sweden's cavalry, and the last cavalry unit there is attacking the German Fusiliers. So we're going to reform the line here, make a better line. You see here the last unit of Sweden, well, second last unit, that's routed there. We've got the elite units there charging in to the line infantry, and the enemy did the rallying effect. So we're doing a 2-pronged attack there. We've got the guards there running in with the Emperor's Own and the Uhlans, so they'll do a lot of damage there. So we have 1 lifeguard afoot there and a line infantry. So Sweden's formation isn't very good at the moment. We're going to charge in the Hungarian Fusiliers because they have really good melee stats, and against that whole line there and the 1 single unit of Sweden guards, they're not going to stand the melee assault too well. So that's the regiments, the 1st regiment, Emperor's Own routing there. Got the Uhlans attacking the lifeguards of foot, and we have the Hungarian Fusiliers charging in. On my left flank we have the Swedish Jaegers, and they're still pretty much intact, getting some kills on the left of the Austrian front. That's quite a good move there because we don't really have anything to defend that area with too well. So we've withdrawn to make a better line. Hopefully we can use the lights better. And you can see the Hungarian Fusiliers charging straight through. Because 1 versus 1 against the lifeguards of foot, not going to stand too well in a shooting battle. They'll do much better in a melee battle. So they're charging in, getting some fairly good damage. I think we have the general there, just for extra morale. That's the more Fusiliers running in there to get some more kills. You can see the morale of the line for Sweden. It's not doing too well there. We have a bit of a hill advantage as well. That's going to help the melee. One of the German Fusiliers is just routed, and we have the Swedish Jaegers coming round to here on the left flank. So we're going to move back. So it's kind of 50-50 right now. We're getting enveloped. Don't have any cavalry. All we have is the general's unit, which is heavily depleted to 5 units, 5 men. So we're going to charge the German Fusiliers down to attack the line. Still got Hungarian Fusiliers in the centre. There's an attack there by a Swedish lifeguard. However, they've routed before they actually reach the line. And we still have 2 units of Hungarian Fusiliers. Probably should have marched them forward a little bit, because there's a bit of a crossfire here. And these guys are taking damage needlessly. But we're winning the right flank. Got our Fusiliers engaged with the general and the line infantry. These guys are full strength almost. So finally marching forward. I think I took these guys off fire at will. Hopefully I did. No, I didn't. I forgot to do that. No, I did. So these guys are going to reposition to attack the Jaegers, and we're going to do melee assaults on Sweden. Because that's what Austria is really good at, melee assaults, melee stats, and the Hungarian Fusiliers. So we're attacking the centre. Sweden's front has just crumbled. My Emperor's Own just came back from routing, although the morale is very, very weak. And we're going to chase down the Jaegers. Sweden still has the General Staff, which is now got 2 chevrons. Regiment of Light Infantry. 3 units of Jaegers left still, fairly intact. One is about half strength. And a unit of Lifeguard of Foot. So Sweden still does have a range advantage with the sharpshooters. If they do a lot of kiting, they might be able to actually win this still. It's kind of 50-50. There's no cavalry left. There's a unit of Grenzers just routing. I think they actually come back at some stage. They're only half depleted. Getting some kills there on the backs of the line infantry. But obviously Sweden still does have a range advantage, and if you look at my morale, my guys are very tired. They could easily rout. There's a crossfire happening here. So if we take the time to make a line, that gives Sweden time to withdraw, fire, withdraw. That's basically what kiting is. So we can't really afford to hold back too much. Obviously we've got a lot more units left, but our morale is very, very weak still, and they've got a good general. I think my general might have fled the battle. And there's a unit of Hungarian Fusiliers, 95 strong. They've just routed. But we're catching one of the Jaegers though. So if we can take out this Jaeger unit, got a unit of the Emperor Zone's finally routed, and those lights did actually come back. The lights are doing really well. It's forcing the Jaegers to reposition, and they're not firing, so we're doing a lot of damage to the side of the Jaegers. So I think they're trying to focus everything on these Fusiliers, because if they can take out the Fusiliers, they've effectively won. So we've got one Fusiliers running for a charge, they've withdrawn. We've got one Fusiliers attacking the Jaegers, they'll win that. And we've got two lights attacking the Jaegers there. And those Fusiliers actually came back. So did the lights. So I think the general routed. So we need to be careful about morale of the army. They still have a pretty good general. And these guys do cost a bit more, the Hungarian Fusiliers, but they do have better melee stats. But I do actually think in 1 versus 1 they do beat the regular line. Might be wrong in that one, I need to check out the stats, but they certainly have better morale. So we've kind of forced Sweden to take a stand here. If they pull back anymore, they're going to risk routing that unit of Jaegers, because they'll take shots from the back, and you can see the regiment just routed there. So it's unlikely they'll actually return from that, even though the Swedish generals just used the rallying ability. So we're going to get a lot of good shots in the back there. We're going to press forward, keep on pushing, because the Jaegers still have a range advantage. But you can see the morale of the lights, the morale of the line infantry. It's just very, it actually drops. It's back up now because of the general, but it's not very good. So we're closing in from the front there and the sides with the lights. We haven't gone with a line, like too deep line there. Well, we've got too deep there, but they still have cavalry, 16 cavalry there. They could still do damage. So if you get a cavalry attack against a line like that, it does a lot more damage. So not going to take the risk. We've got enough men, we can afford to keep formation. And that's what's happening here. Done a cavalry attack. I think these guys are in guard mode as well, so they'll keep firing. They're not in guard mode. But as soon as this general dies, it's going to completely destroy the morale of the Swedish army. And I think they're about to rout there, down to 6 men. Check out some of the action. You see the Swedish line coming in there. So the enemy, the general unit's actually fairly powerful. They're actually withholding quite well, but that's them finally routing there. So that's the battle pretty much won. That was a very, very close battle. You don't often see, well, I've never really played a Swedish versus Austrian battle before, so that was fun for me. I thought my opponent played really well. It was a very close battle, and again, it's a very fair map, grassy flatlands. There's not really any hills to have a good advantage. That was a victory for me. 1,635 kills, and my opponent Clan, he had 1,500 kills. So that was very well played by Clan. Thanks for watching. This is Piper signing off.